Hi, my name is Mark Giordano. I'm a professor in the School of Foreign Service, and I'll be teaching a course called The Future of Food with a question mark at the end in the spring. The class has four main objectives. The first one is to understand the global food system and the challenges that we now face. The second objective is to understand the options that we have for meeting the challenges, both on the technical side and what you might call the social side. So we'll look at traditional approaches like how to increase yield through genetically modified organisms or through different crop breeding. But we'll also look at the issue of our attitudes towards food, how much food we waste, and how we can view the food system differently, and that in itself might be a solution to at least some of our food problems. The third objective is to pick up some skills for analyzing not only food problems, but issues in development and beyond. So we'll look at how do you produce trade forecast, agricultural trade forecast? How does one produce models that tell you that we need more food in the future or more energy or more whatever other resource? And we'll also learn how to do impact assessments so that you can do a better job of evaluating the impact that some intervention has on the ground. The final goal of the class is to understand perspective. And so what we'll do is try to use the past, understanding what's happened in some past agricultural interventions, how the perspective of the people viewed the problems to start with, how that perspective determined what kind of solutions they sought, and what lessons we can learn from that on how we try to solve the problems of the future. Food is obviously an important issue for everyone since we have to eat every day, but it's also a big issue for political stability, it's a big issue for economic growth. And so if we don't understand the food system, if we don't understand the challenges that we're facing in the future, when people say that we need 70% more food in the next 40 years if we're going to feed ourselves, then we're not going to understand what the global issues are out there. This is a course you should obviously take if you're interested in food and agriculture issues, but it's a course that's much broader than that because we look at how do people view problems and how does their view of the problem determine the solutions that they try to implement, and what can we learn from that about how we deal with other problems in the future. So we do things beyond just reading about food and agriculture. We watch a Kurosawa movie. We learn about fractals and what they have to do with farm structure in Africa. So it's a class about agriculture, but it's also a class about how we view the world. Here at Georgetown, I teach a variety of classes related to natural resources and international affairs, including water and agriculture. Before coming to Georgetown about 1 year ago, I spent the previous 11 years in Sri Lanka at an organization called the International Water Management Institute, where our mission was to do research to support better water use for agriculture in developing countries. Prior to that, I worked about 9 years with the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Economic Research Service, working on agricultural trade issues for the U.S. government. So the course is set up as a series of lectures, discussions based on readings of key topics that I think are important. In addition to that, we watch a movie. We will we'll analyze forecasts of Lester Brown, who predicted that China was going to eat all of the world's food, and we'll try to see why he said that, and can we reproduce those forecasts, and what does that mean? What does that tell us about how one produces forecasts? We will do a couple of field trips, one to the French embassy to meet the French agricultural attaché to talk about developed country agricultural policies, and we'll take another trip either to the World Bank or to the International Food Policy Research Institute or to USAID to talk to them about their policies or the work that they're doing on agriculture in the developing world. And as part of the class, you'll put together an assignment analyzing a problem of particular interest to you related to food and agriculture somewhere in the world.